nighttime. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Much appreciated, Coach. Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in Northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
That's it, baby. We gon' rock. Let's go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, lock it. Hey, rock it. Rock it. Check. Get it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
To throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. That one complete to Hill. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts' 29-yard line. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Exit. Fair.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Set up. 15 line. Take me up. Here we go. 5.
Off play action. Lawrence. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. In for the score as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. Mike 54. I'm coming for you, son. Kill. Check. Lucky.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Hines. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
General, Max. No.
Second and 5. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 31-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the jet sweep here, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 16. They'll run on first down. Hines, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Love. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's big.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So don't say nothing. Hey, Team 6. Team 6. 55. Rock it. You. Yes.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
On 1st down, it's Hines. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2nd and 9 now. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On 3rd and 2, Love eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Got it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 38 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Coming to you, coming to you. 36, 36. Check 3, check right now.
This is Hines. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Hey, wahoo! Get it.
2nd and 13. They're going deep for Hill. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 2nd down, it's Hines. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Leo! Hey!
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
18 Gator.
Hey. Check 24. Check 24.
61 Matchbox Lights. Hey, Charlie. 5.
Off the play fake. Lawrence. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And got his man complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
65. Watch twist.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, exit.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Go.
I got you. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Let go.
From the gun, Lawrence. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
On the double.
55. Mike 55. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Slam.
X3. 218 now.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
58 for Mike. 58 for Mike.
Smooth.
2nd and 1. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Let's go. Shit.
Topper. Hey, Haywood. Yep.
58 to Mike.
Go.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight deep. Don't let him breathe.
Hit it.
On 1st down, Lawrence. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will it be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check for it. Joker. Head.
The final shot before break. Love. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw again. Love. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run with Hines. He finds an opening past the 40. Cuts it out to the sideline. A big play there for Andy. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Operating from the gun. Love. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. First possession of the 3rd quarter, and interceptions, or maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a 1st down as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff looking right to the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Love. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Check Mike 54.
Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Right there. 54 Mike. You don't want
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. No problem there on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You got nothing. Switches. Blue dart porkers. Blue dart porkers.
Here's Hines. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Keep it up, guys. Charlie.
To throw on 3rd down. Love. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Look at me. Zipper. Hey, high 7. Now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
It's now 4th down and 1.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Let's get off the field, D.
Race don't travel. Race don't travel. Alpha.
On 3rd down, Love. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 35. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Safety's creeping. Mike.
Throwing on 1st down, Lawrence. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Check the 6-6. Pull it high. Check. Crunch. Hey, zoom.
Check safety. 58.
From the gun, Lawrence. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Samson Abukum drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Here we go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Love. Throw left side complete. It's Carter. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The Colts on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4.
I 7, let's go. My game. Let's put them on the buses.
Operating from the gun. Love. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
He's checking. Crash.
On 4th down, Love. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A design run for their wideout. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
On 4th down, Love. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
Got it.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use him at this point. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Let's go.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 15.
Ready? 90, Wolf.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Check. Protein spill. Hey, Alpha. Hey.
58's the mic. Man, I got you. 58, right over there. Here.
5.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. This is Johnson. He's got it. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Powers through. And incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And an alley to run. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week one in the books. Going to be a great season.